distribution. BCA Digital Bank will be listed in the next 1 or 2 years. Hello, good evening, viewers. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of informations from business, economic, and capital market sector. And as the pandemic is still going on, we'll provide you the latest COVID-19 information. With me, Lantai, and this is Market Headlines. The government ensures that the social assistance budget has been aided throughout the period of implementing PPKM Level 4, including the new proposals from the local government for the basic food card.
The government ensures that the realization of social assistance will be accelerated, including additional social assistance after PPKM Level 4 is extended. Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs Erlangga Hartarto explained that the government would prioritize social assistance for the affected communities. The social assistance includes additional food card assistance, extensions of cash social assistance, internet quota subsidies, and electricity discounts.
Bantuan sosial yang diterima oleh masyarakat selama PPKM level 4 antara lain, 1, menambah bantuan kartu sembako, itu besarnya 200.000 untuk 2 bulan dan penerimanya adalah 18,8 juta keluarga penerima manfaat. Kemudian kartu sembako PPKM ini 5,9 juta keluarga penerima manfaat. Ini merupakan usulan daerah dan ini ditambahkan dan besarannya juga sebesar 200.000 per bulan selama 6 bulan.
In addition, the government also reactivate wage subsidy and add 10 trillion rupiah for pre-employment cards program. Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
The Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs continues to boost the distributions of productive micro-business assistance to 3 million beneficiaries in August and September. In addition, the ministry is also preparing a scheme to add 1 million SMEs to get such assistance.
The Ministry of Cooperatives and SMEs stated after the government distributed aid of 1.2 million rupiah to 9.8 million SMEs in 2021, the government will again distribute productive assistance to 3 million SMEs, targeted to be absorbed in August and September. The ministry said this was done to maintain the sustainability of micro enterprises.
Tahap pertama dari BPUM ya per 19 Mei 2021 itu sudah tersalur ke 9,8 juta usaha mikro. Ya, jadi untuk yang tahap awal. Nah, sekarang kita lagi mengejar ya untuk pencairan di tahap kedua ya, di mana ada 3 juta targetnya ya. Dan diharapkan di bulan Juli ini akan cair sampai 1,5 juta. Ya, insya Allah Agustus atau September paling lambat itu akan tercair 1,5 juta lainnya. Jadi total alokasi 12,8 juta penerima BPUM tahun 2021 ini bisa kita optimalkan begitu ya.
The government will also add assistance for 1 million street vendors in the amount of 1.2 million rupiah, where until now the government is working on a distribution scheme that will be carried out either directly or through transfers. IDX Channel reports.
Moving on to global update, United States top health expert Anthony Fauci says that the U.S. is heading in the wrong directions on the coronavirus pandemic as the infections surge. Meanwhile, police and protesters has clashed in several Tunisian cities as demonstrators demanding the government step down after a spike in COVID-19 cases that has aggravated the economic troubles. More stories on today's International Minute.
China said that it has imposed counter-sanctions on United States individuals, including former U.S. Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross, in response to recent U.S. sanctions on Chinese officials in Hong Kong. The sanctions are the first imposed by China under its new anti-foreign sanction law, passed in June and come days before U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman is due to visit China amid deeply strained ties. The U.S. is heading in the wrong direction on the coronavirus pandemic as infections surge among the unvaccinated, a top health expert has warned. Dr. Anthony Fauci said the Delta variant of COVID-19 was driving the spike in areas with low vaccination rates. He said health officials were considering revising guidance for vaccinated Americans to curb cases. Offering booster jabs to vulnerable people was also under review. German politicians were deeply divided over a warning by Chancellor Angela Merkel's chief of staff that restrictions for unvaccinated people may be necessary if COVID-19 infection numbers reach new heights in the coming months. Chief of Staff Helge Braun told that he doesn't expect another coronavirus-related lockdown in Germany, but Braun said that unvaccinated people may be barred from entering venues like restaurants, movie theaters, or sports stadiums. Police and protesters have clashed in several Tunisian cities as demonstrators demanding the government step down after a spike in COVID-19 cases that has aggravated economic troubles attacked offices of Ennahda, the biggest party in parliament. In Tunis on Sunday, police used pepper spray against protesters who threw stones and shouted slogans demanding that Prime Minister Hichem Machichi quit and parliament be dissolved. IDX Channel reports.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned.
Jika Anda adalah investor saham, Anda mendapat keuntungan di antaranya capital gain, yaitu keuntungan dari selisih harga beli dan harga jual saham. Dividen, yaitu pembagian laba kepada pemegang saham. Keuntungan lainnya, investor bisa memperoleh pendapatan tambahan dengan meminjamkan sahamnya melalui layanan pinjam meminjam efek atau PME. Apa itu PME? PME merupakan pinjaman efek sementara berupa saham dari investor untuk keperluan penyelesaian transaksi bursa. Apa saja manfaat yang didapatkan? Investor memperoleh keuntungan. Investor tetap dapat menerima dana sebagai pengganti dividen jika ada pembagian dividen saat sahamnya sedang dipinjamkan. Pendapatan yang diterima investor dari layanan PME dapat digunakan untuk membayar biaya penyimpanan saham. Saat nilai saham turun, investor tetap dapat memperoleh pendapatan hingga mengurangi potensi kerugian. Dan yang terpenting, KPEI menjamin pengembalian saham yang dipinjamkan sesuai waktu yang telah ditentukan. Menarik bukan? Prosesnya sangat sederhana. Investor cukup menghubungi perusahaan sekuritas dan menandatangani formulir perjanjian PME. Selanjutnya, jika terdapat kebutuhan penyelesaian transaksi bursa oleh peminjam, saham yang akan dipinjamkan diserahkan kepada KPEI melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Setelah proses PME selesai, maka KPEI akan mengembalikan saham yang telah dipinjamkan dan memberikan pendapatan kepada investor melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Segera hubungi perusahaan sekuritas Anda, Customer Care KPEI, atau kunjungi website kami untuk mengetahui layanan PME. PME, pinjamkan sahamnya, dapatkan manfaatnya.
Welcome back to Market Headline. The government has decided to continue the implementations of COVID-19 restrictions level 4, which was supposed to be ended on yesterday, which is Sunday, and the policy is extended to August 2nd, 2021. President Joko Widodo officially extends COVID-19 restrictions level 4 for another week until Monday, August 2nd, 2021. He said that this decision was taken by considering health, economic, and social dynamics aspects.
Pertimbangkan aspek kesehatan, aspek ekonomi, dan dinamika sosial, saya memutuskan untuk melanjutkan penerapan PPKM level 4 dari tanggal 26 Juli sampai dengan 2 Agustus 2021.
As long as PPKM level 4 is in effect, restrictions are placed on a number of sectors, ranging from offices, education, shopping centers, restaurants, transportations, tourism, and arts and culture, to social activities. President Jokowi also claimed that PPKM has succeeded in improving the pandemic conditions in Indonesia.
Kita tahu saat ini sudah terjadi tren perbaikan dalam pengendalian pandemi COVID-19. Laju penambahan kasus, bor, dan positivity rate mulai menunjukkan tren penurunan seperti yang terjadi di beberapa provinsi di Jawa.
Even so, President Joko Widodo still asked the public to always be aware of the transmissions of the coronavirus, especially the dangerous Delta variant. IDX Channel reported. Who would have thought that a disease can last so much longer? And until now, Indonesia is still reporting new cases of this mutated virus. Throw back a little bit, the emergence of COVID-19 cases in Indonesia was officially announced on March 2nd, 2020. Now it has passed more than a year, and the COVID-19 cases have no sign to stop. The government itself has taken a policy to limiting the community activities to suppress the spread of COVID-19, starting from PSBB, PPKM, micro PPKM, emergency PPKM to PPKM level 4. And therefore, let's see the timeline in the next graphic. Here it is. For your screen, we can see that the additional 2020, while the PPKM on January 2021. And moving on to the micro PPKM to January 2021, and the latest, the emergency PPKM by January 2021. And at the beginning, the government implemented the emergency COVID-19 social restrictions from July 3rd to 20. But then, when the spike in COVID-19 cases started to occur, it was extended with the term of COVID-19 social restrictions level 4 on July. And now, President Joko Widodo has decided to continue the implementations of COVID-19 emergency social restrictions level 4 until August 2nd. So let's see what it's all about in the next graphic. Here it is, the emergency COVID-19 social restrictions level 4 is all about. We can see the ease of some restrictions in here. That market that sells stable food can open with a strict health protocol. A market without stable food can open up to 3 p.m. with only 50% of the capacity, while the small outlets can open up until 9 p.m. and the food stalls can open up until 8 p.m. with 20 minutes of visiting duration. Director of Central of Economic and Law Studies, Bima Yudhistira, said that the extensions of the implementations of emergency COVID-19 social restrictions was a big risk for Indonesia economy. This saw a decline in the turnover of businesses actors during the emergency COVID-19 social restrictions, reaching 80% up to 90%. However, the relaxations of the emergency COVID-19 social restrictions is considered not to have a major impact on business actors due to low purchasing power. This great pressure has an impact on the community, including the workers. And previously, the Central Statistic Agency, or BPS, recorded that there were around 19 million workers affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's see the detail in the next graphic. Here it is. We can see a bunch of working group that has affected by the pandemic, which we can see in August 2020, the number reached around 29 million people that are affected by pandemic of COVID-19. While in the February 2021, which was the latest data that produced by Central Statistic of Indonesia, which is in February 2021, the working age group that affected by pandemic reaching 19.1 million people. So the COVID-19 has brought disruptions to the employment sector. Data from the Central Statistic Agency, as of August 2020, there were around 29.1 million workers, or around 14.28% of the total working age populations affected by the pandemic. And the majority experienced reduced working hours and reduced wage and lost their jobs or were unemployed. So let's see the detail in the next graphic. We can deep down more about the employment during the pandemic. So we can see through your screen on August 2020, the unemployment rate. We can see that there are 2.56 million people were unemployed. While in February 2021, the number got lower to be 1.62 million people that are unemployed. And the government has also prepared a number of programs to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on the employment sector. The total budget allocation for this year's COVID-19 handling and national economic recovery program is around 744 trillion rupiah. And recently, the government has also relaunched the provisions of the wage subsidies for workers affected by the emergency COVID-19 restrictions. The subsidy is given to workers with a wage of 3.5 million rupiah in a PPKM level 4. The provisions of the wage subsidies is expected to reduce the potential for layoffs, maintain business sector and people's purchasing power. Yes, we hope that current emergency COVID-19 restrictions level 4, though it sounds so intense, but hopefully that the government has lose some points so it can maintain the business sector. By meaning of that, it can also maintain Indonesia's worker. Stay with us because market headlines will be right back after this quick break.
Awali hari Anda dengan beragam informasi bisnis terkini yang kami kemas dalam berita teraktual dan berkualitas. News Screen Morning menyajikan informasi ekonomi, bisnis, dan keuangan. News Screen Evening mengulas seputar ekonomi makro dan mikro, fiskal, moneter, dan sektorial Indonesia. Market Headline menayangkan berita ekonomi dan bisnis dalam bahasa Inggris.
Indonesia receive.
Saksikan program-program berita ekonomi dan bisnis terkini langsung dari sumbernya, live hanya di IDX Channel. Your Trustworthy Economic, Business, and Capital Market Channel.
Hello, I'm Clara Antawijaya. I'm Associate Producer and News Presenter on Market Headlines. as market headline starts at 4:30 p.m., which is in line with the closing market. Therefore, we summarize market conditions only for you. And my job in here as a journalist, I give concise and accurate news for the audience. And also, being a journalist is not only a job for me, but it is also a passion.
Yes, viewers, now moving on to Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. So earlier today, JCR was open at a level of 6,103.33 and then approaching the closing time in the first session. The index was on the level of 6,110.18 and the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. The index was closed at a level of 6,106.39. In short, JCI went up 0.08%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading of the dynamics of today's trading, we got transportations and logistics sector that went up 2.68%. We got infrastructure that went up 2.24%. Meanwhile, industrial sector went down 1.63% and property sector went down 0.62%. Moving on to the top gainers and the top losers. Here are the key highlights from today's trading sessions. We got ENTM that went up by 0.38% to the level of 2,630 rupiah per share. We got BGTG that went up 25% to the level of 270 rupiah per share. We got Agro that went up 10.04% to the level of 2,630 rupiah per share. And we got TOWR that went up 19.55% to the level of 1,590 rupiah per share. Meantime, for top loser for today's trading sessions, we got BBRI that went down 1.03% to the level of 3,830 rupiah per share. We got BMRI that went down 2.93% to the level of 5,800 rupiah per share. Next, we got Astro International that went down 3.64% to the level of 4,770 rupiah per share. And Unilever that went down 2.28% to the level of 4,700 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah opened at the level of 14,487. Rupiah was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,489. In summary, rupiah went down 0.13%. And now, along with the high interest of investors in digital banks, management of Bank Central Asia unveils that BCA Digital Bank will be listed on the stock market in the next 1 to 2 years.
President Director of Bank Central Asia or BCA, Yahya Setiatmaja explained that Bank Digital BCA will be listed on the stock market because there is a lot of interest from investors in the digital banking sector. He said the market is less interested in IPOs for small companies, while BCA's subsidiaries are still relatively small. However, investors have great interest in digital banks. Yahya said that the IPO preparation will take 1 to 2 years, one of which is by injecting capital from the parent company. Unfortunately, he is still reluctant to reveal how much capital BCA is preparing for this IPO. Although it still takes up to 2 years, Yahya said that his party is preparing BCA Digital to become an attractive company as an investment option. He ensures that the price to be released in the market will be adjusted to the fair market price. IDX Channel reports.
It's totally the dividend season. One more company is about to distribute dividend in August. It is a company that is engaged in Indonesia's oil and gas sector, Al-Nusa, to deliver dividend as much as 74 billion rupiah.
Al-Nusa plans to distribute dividends to its shareholders. This cooperative action was decided in the annual general meeting of shareholders, which was held on Wednesday. These state-owned companies will distribute 74.72 billion rupiah as dividend for the fiscal year 2020. Investors that hold ELSA stock will receive a dividend of 10.23 rupiah a share. Cash dividends will be distributed to shareholders whose names are in the recording date on August 2nd, 2021, while the dividend rollout will be at August 20th, 2021. IDX Channel reported.
Step aside from market conditions as coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situation. Here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. On the news close on market headlines today, please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, the Trustworthy Academic Business and Capital Market Channel. And as the COVID-19 pandemic is still going on, keep protecting your family by following the health protocols, wearing face masks, keep your distance and stay away from crowds, and wash your hands through running water. And also continue to support vaccinations program to accelerate the creations of the herd immunity. I'm Lantai Wijaya. Have a nice evening. Stay safe.
Vaksinasi terus dilakukan untuk mencegah penyebaran COVID-19 varian jenis Delta dari India.
Minggu depan 1 hari target yang kita berikan 100.000 bisa dicapai.